friends, welcome to Indian Pacific. So today we will learn that how to create the object in Java, what is constructor and what is method in Java. So first question is that how to create object in Java. So in Java there are many ways that you can create the object, but as of now, for a basic understanding and for a startup learning, we will use a new keyword to create object in Java. So here you can see the syntax test, again test in lowercase, that is the name of the object, and equal to new keyword is used, and then we are calling constructor test, and then bracket and semicolon. We will see what is the constructor in the next question, but as of now this is the syntax of creating object. Now let's move for some practical example. Before we move for a practical example, let me introduce that we are going to use Eclipse tool, which is very popular right now in software companies. You can also use NetBeans, and IntelliJ is also there, but it's better to use Eclipse because many companies are using Eclipse and it is open source, because that means you don't have to pay anything. You don't need the license to use this tool. Now to download the Eclipse, let me show simple and quickly. Look, you have to just write down in the Google like download Eclipse for Java.We developers. Why we are downloading the Eclipse for Java.We developers? Because in future we will go for some examples of web application using JSP servlet, and we will also go for other frameworks like Spring and Hibernate. So it's better to use the Eclipse for Java.We developers. These are the links that you can download. Select your operating system and download it. So this is the symbol that Eclipse that you have to download. Now let's move to the Eclipse. So this is the Eclipse. Now from Eclipse, from the menu, go to the new, other, type down Java. So you will see Java project is there. Create a Java project. So you have to give the some specific name to create a Java project. We are learning related to object, constructor and methods. So we can write our like training project. Okay, then next, then finish. If you want to open the perspective related to Java, then you can select on this, otherwise no, or you can take your decision remembered here by checking this checkbox. I'm doing no. Now you can see this is a simple Java project is created. Now I'm going to create a class file inside it. What you have to do for creating class file, there is one src folder which is created, new class. Okay, what you have to do here, you have to type the name of your class. Let me type like example. Okay, this is the name of my class. It is always starting with capital letters. Okay, then I will do finish. So it will create one example Java class. So now in this one, what we are going to do, let me create one package and place this Java file inside that. We will see later that what is the package and everything. Package is just a folder structure where we will place our Java classes, group of Java classes which are the similar and which are created for similar functionality or modules. But as of now, don't go inside that, and just see how to create the package and place this Java file inside that package. You can also run this Java class here, but it's better to place in specific package. So I'm creating one package. I have did the right click on this src. Okay, then select the package. You have to give the proper package name, like it will always be in small letter, like com.training. okay, I'm doing its finish. Okay, I'm moving this. You can drag and drop your Java class from here to there. Okay, like this. Okay, so it will delete this class, old class. Okay, so already one class is created in package also. Okay, now we are learning actually that how to create the Java objects. So let's write one simple main method. So use of this tool, Eclipse tool, is what are the advantages? If you type just main and if you do control space, it will automatically give a suggestion to write the main method. Now select main, so your main method will be automatically generated. Now to format the code, what you have to do, control shift F, that is the shortcut. It will format your code. Now we are going to create the object of same class. Example is equal to new example. Okay, now let's create one sample method. Inside this, public void print data. We will learn about the methods also in the same video. Now this is the way, that simple way that how you can create the object in Java. Now I'm going to print something inside this. Okay, like first Java object using new keyword. So friends, whenever we are creating the object using new keyword, it is used to occupy the memory whenever we are going to create objects. So the memory is occupied whenever we are going to create the object. So now we are going to run this simple program. Let's as of now delete this method. Do the code formatting using Ctrl Shift F. I'm going to run this program. So in Eclipse, if you want to run the Java program, just do the right click here, run as a Java application, or you can right click over here also on a file structure, then run, right click, run as a Java application. So you can see our output is here. Okay, now let's move to some other question and next concept. Okay, now the next question is, what is the constructor in Java? So in Java, constructor have same name as a class name, and it has no explicit return type. We will see what is the return type when we will move for the methods, but constructor have no explicit return type. Actually constructor is returning current class object, but we cannot use it. So what is the constructor? Its name is same as a class name and it has no explicit return type. Now let's move to our training workspace of Eclipse. Okay, I'm going to create one constructor. Its name is test. Okay, sorry, constructor name is same as like class name, so it must be example. If you do the control space, it will automatically give you a suggestion for this. So this is the constructor. Okay, now if you wanna check that your constructor is called or not, constructor is called. Okay, so you can see whenever we are going to create the object of example, we are calling the example constructor. Okay, so here we are calling it example, we are calling an example constructor. So now again we will run the program, run as a Java application. So you can see constructor is called. So first our constructor will call, and then our sysout statement will execute. How it is executing one by one? For that, let me show you that how you can use the debug mode of Eclipse. So to use the debug mode of Eclipse, to run your program in debug mode, what you have to do here, you have to place the breakpoints. When you right click on this left panel, you will see toggle breakpoints. Okay, place a breakpoint here, place a breakpoint here, place a breakpoint here. So whenever you will execute your program, it will stop at that place. Let me show you how it stops. This time you have to not run a class as a Java application, but you have to debug a class as a Java application, debug as a Java application. So you can see here our cursor is stopped. Now to move to the next method, next line, you can do F6, function F6. Okay, then you can see the constructor is invoked. Now again if you will do the F6, then your sysout is not printed. But again if I will do F6 or function F6, it will get printed. If you move to the next breakpoint directly, then you have to do function F8. Again I am running this in debug as a Java application. Okay, I am doing function F6. So you can see first the example constructor is invoked, then after this constructor is invoked, it will move to the next line, sysout, then will print. You can see it has already printed, constructor is called. Now it will going to print first Java object using new keyword. It is printed. Let me show you again that how we can debug. So debug as a Java application. First line is, look, here is a green. You are able to see this green line, green background behind the line. So here our cursor is stopped. Once I will do a function F6, it will move to the constructor, because when this portion will execute, it goes to the constructor and it will print this line. Again if I will do function F6, then it will move to the next line. First Java object using new keyword will be printed. So this is the simple thing that we are running the simple Java program. We have created the object, we are calling the constructor. Look, if you are not writing any constructor here, then it is fine. Every class have their default constructor. If I will run the program in this case, then what will happen? Nothing will printed, only we have written sysout in our method, that is only will get printed. But you can write the constructor over here also if you want to write. There are two types of constructor. One default constructor, and another constructor can have a parameter also. like integer a, integer b. So here integer is a data type. We will see what are the data types available in Java. You can also use here a string class. Okay, string str I have taken here. Okay, so now I am going to print this variable, and this string a will be printed. Then again I will print the str string. Okay, whenever this constructor will invoke, then this variable value and string value will be printed. You can see here we are able to see the error. Whenever the error will comes in Eclipse, it will show you something like this, or red line below the your keyword or your line. Okay, so here what is it is asking to pass some parameters. So I'm passing 5 and I'm passing the value of string like hello. Okay, so now again I am going to run this program, run as a Java application. So you can see 5 is printed, then hello is printed, means our constructor will invoke first, then our system.out.println will get printed. So when this main method will get executed, when your JVM will choose this main method to execute the program, first it will create the object of example class. Okay, then during the process of creating this object, this constructor will invoke. So all the code which is written inside this constructor will execute. So in this line, first line in the constructor is that we are going to print the a variable value. Then second line is we are going to print the value of string. Okay, so these are the things that we learn, that how to create the object, how to call the constructor, default constructor, parameterized constructor. So this is the simple things that we learn. Now you know the object creation process, constructor creating process, how to call the constructor. Even you can also call the also create the another class inside the same package. Let me create another class, like I'm giving the name application application.java will be get created. You do not have to give the extension while you are creating new Java class. Okay, you have to just type the name of the class. Let me show you again. New class, let's say test, or you can say sample. You don't need to do like .java here, it will automatically append it to your file name like finish. So sample.java is created. You can also create the object of another class in this one. Let me say I'm going to create the object of application. So I have to do the application is equal to new keyword, and I'm going to call the constructor of the application. Right now the default constructor will invoke because we haven't written any constructor here, so every class have a default constructor. Okay, now this is, you can see the object of application class is created. You can give any name of your object, like instead of application, let's say I'm giving object. This is also fine. You can give any name of object, but it should be a meaningful, so that's why I have given application. Okay, now let's move to some theoretical part. So as we learn, there are two types of constructor, default and parameterized. Now let's move for a next question, that is, what is the method? What is the method in Java? So in people or students who know the C and C++, they already know what is the functions. So in Java, those functions called method in Java. So what is the definition of the method? Actually there is no specific definition that you can say for the method, but you can say like it's a group or set of reusable code. Let's say the syntax of the method. What is the syntax of the method? So you have to first give the access modifier. As of now I am using a public. Okay, so this public, you can use the private, you can use the protected. If you are not giving any access modifier, then it is by default is default access modifier. We will see access modifier concepts. I will separately upload the video for the access modifier also. Now the next is the return type. Void, integer, float, any data type that you can return when you are writing a method. Either it will be a data type, or you can also use the object. Object can be also a return type of a method. And third one, the name of the method. You can give the any name of your method, but it should be follow some coding convention. Suppose I am going to print something, I am going to calculate something in method, then we have to use the relevant name, that like calculate values, like add values or print values. The specific name, whatever you are choosing, it should be related to your coding process. Now let's move to some practical part of method creation. So I am deleting this thing. I am going to write. You can continue with this code also, but for better understanding I am going to write one simple method. Public, let's say I am not returning anything as of now. Void print values. Okay, so I have created one simple method. So as I have explained in theoretical part, let me explain you again. This is the public access modifier. Void return type, we can use integer, we can use string class here, we can use float, we can also use the object here like this. But this is very little bit difficult to returning the object directly in method, to learn that thing. But as of now, let's place it a integer. So I'm going to add two values. Add values. Okay, now add values. I'm going to add two parameters, integer value 1, integer value 2. Okay, now I'm creating another integer variable like result is equal to value 1 plus value 2. So whenever this method will invoke, it will give me a result. So I will print the result here. Result is like this. Okay, now we have to return something here, like return 5. Sorry, we have already result variable is there, that is the integer type, so we can return here, and we will move this sysout line from here, and whatever the returning from this, let me do example dot add values. I will pass 45 and 50. Okay, now whatever the value is coming from here, again result is equal to, result will get printed here. I will do the code formatting. Okay, I will to create the object of this class, I will use the default constructor. So now there is no error in this one. Okay, so you can see I have created one example object of example class. Okay, so through this object I have called this add values method. So this line, the meaning of this line, that we are calling add values method. The name of this method is add values, and from here we are calling add values method. So this is the syntax to call the method, and this is the definition of the method. From here I am calling add values method. So whenever this program run, first example object is created, then through this object we will call add values method, then it will return me the result of these two values. It will add these two values here. This is the logic, value 1 plus value 2, and it is stored over here in result. Then result will be printed, returning from here, and it will get printed here. So method have return type, access modifier, and method name. Method can have also arguments or parameters, you can say. So there are two types of methods are available, like user defined methods and inbuilt or which are the available classes that we are using from Java library. Those classes have also the methods. You can see here we are using println method. Okay, so from where it is coming, so if you open here system class, source is not attached, but if you go inside the system class, then out variable is defined and the println method is a inbuilt, or you can see print stream println. This tool is also give a suggestion and description about the method which are the inbuilts. Okay, so this print method is from print stream, you can see here. So this println is inbuilt method, and this add values method is created by us, so that is user defined method. Now I'm going to format this code using Ctrl+Shift+F. Okay, I'm going to move this space. Okay, and I'm going to run this program again. So now this time what will be the output? It will be 95. You can see here result is 95. It will do the 45 plus 50. This is the logic of add values, and this method is returning the result here, and same way we are storing the result in result variable again here, and the value is printed. In the next video I will explain you what are the global variables and local variables. So there are some confusion that raised during this program, but we will resolve that also, that by learning global and local variables. So these are the things that we learn, that how to create the object using new keyword, what are the constructors in Java, what are the methods in Java, types of the constructor and types of the methods. So this is the startup learning that you need when you want to be a Java developer. So as of now, this is the end of this video, and if you have any question, if you have any doubt, if you have any query, then you can contact us. You can reach to our website, and you can mail us also. You don't need to pay anything for any question, and within 24 hours definitely we will give you the answer. Thank you.